guys, Civivi Elementum. Let's open the box, see what you get. Get a little plastic bag. That's always fantastic. Nice little zipper case here, right? So, zip the case and pull out your Civivi. Comes with a little above your knife, a little cleaning thing there, and a nice little knife sticker. You can put that over there. So, knives that come in just under 7 inches, 6.99. It feels very nice. It flips well. Blade play is, yeah, it feels fantastic. Absolutely great. Centered. How centered is it? Very nice. Did a good job there. Just believe these are ceramic bearings, cage ceramic bearings. There's your scales. Now this is a G10 with a carbon fiber on top, on the layer on top there. So let's compare it to this mini Griptilian. And this is an old one here. As you see, it's a little bit longer than Griptilian. Now with Griptilian, they didn't quite care about the old centering back then, so at least you get some of these added benefits nowadays. So let's go over some of the finer details of this particular blade. This is from the manufacturer. There's a glare here, so let's get it over here. So manufacturer's gonna say the Rockwell hardness should come in at 59 to 61. So we'll test that with 2 different methods. I'll get into that in a second. Ceramic cage ball bearings, G10 with a carbon fiber overlay. So there we go. That's how they did the handles. Now this blade material, as they say on the Amazon page, is supposed to be a D2 vacuum heated blade with a 110 layer. So that's the blade material. Now I happen to be on Wish.com, and they sell already pre-heat treated Damascus, like 4 different types. I'll show you a picture up here. Now the manufacturer, he says here that the outer layer, surface layer, is supposed to be around 30 Rockwell or whatnot, and then the core is supposed to be around 50 or something, high 50s. So kind of what I've been noticing when I've been testing with the UCI method, and the UCI machine is going to be this right here. UCI is great for kind of the shallow. It can be shallow if it's a case hardness. The case hardness will stop this machine from testing any further. If it's a homogeneous still all the way through, I can use this machine to actually test and give you accurate results. But I also have an analog machine. But the cool thing is, we'll see if what that seller said about the differences between the surface and the inner. I've kind of noticed, I've tested a few of my Damascus bladed Chinese knives, and I mean, they come in around 45 Rockwell, and I was a little like, well, what's wrong with that? So maybe with that, what that guy was saying about the difference between with kind of like a surface layer difference. So we'll actually get into that and see if that holds true, and we'll see if it lives up to the manufacturer's specifications of 59 to 61. So let's get testing. All right, let's pull this thing apart. Shouldn't be too bad. Take out this here. Yeah, so far they are not thread locking any of these at all, so they come out pretty easily. For this one, that one's a little harder. Let me check that one for. Let me check that one out. Not quite. We'll have to pull it out with the other one. He's definitely in there a little bit better than the other one. Alright. One more over there. Trying to hide on me there. Alright, so got the first handle off. There's the G10 there, so I got a layer. I can't really see a layer line on there at all. Did a good job of hiding that in there, and that almost looks like carbon fiber too. Huh? I don't know. Maybe it's all carbon fiber. So here's the right there. Now here's the ball bearings. Very nice. Let's pull these out. Actually, that just... Okay, I can't tell. Alright, so there's your cage ball bearings. So here we go. This is the we'll be testing with the analog in the back there because I don't want to put little holes over my blade. So there's your little ball bearings. They look nice and clean. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Pretty simple. So let's go to, actually, let's go ahead and just break out the UCI tester and start testing all over it. Alright. Here we go. It's going to be the first little test. So the manufacturer said like 59 to 61, so we know what the actual core strength should be, but we don't know exactly how hard, if they actually harden this right or not. So, but we'll see real quick what this tells us. Let's see, I think first hit. Alright, so this is actually not 57. This is actually not like the... Huh, interesting. So this isn't like the other blades I was using. Or the ones on like the cheaper Chinese blades. These are actually... Huh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So if anyone knows about like cheaper Damascus or Chinese, comment below there. I'll do some tests on those to see if that actually happens. If there's a different core from the actual surface, but so far this knife is going to be... Oh, there you go. Exactly how the manufacturer's been stating. We'll put this on the analog. I'll take and see exactly what we get on there, but we're pretty much already in the ballpark. I'll probably throw one. There's gonna be I'll do 5 nominal hits in all, and I'll probably take 2 from this if they look good, so comparable to the analog, and I'll probably use like 3 from the other one, so or 2 from UCI and 3 from the other or something. So we'll go ahead and do those tests on the analog, and then we'll wrap it on up. Well, that didn't quite work out as planned. So this UCI machine kind of hates semi-shiny or some shiny things like VG10 Spyderco. It's great, it loves it. This is kind of it's going over the place. I am seeing consistencies of what I was showing you earlier when you saw this. So I'll give you a nominal score. If it works out, and I think the numbers are consistent, I'll give you a nominal score in the UCI method. If that works out, it'd be like a Glock. When a Glock would have a harder case, this is the outside would be harder because they put your Tenefer, your harder encased metal on the top here, and the core would be softer. I have a whole video on this. It's already been tested inside. I'll never do that again. I test now on the inside of the slide, but now say on a Ruger. This Ruger doesn't have a case hardness. It's probably why it rusts so easily, but this is a homogeneous type of steel. You could test it with this UCI and get the same results as the analog machine. So that might be what the case is here, or maybe this UCI machine just doesn't quite give me the right result. But I'll do off camera. I'm gonna do some hits, and then I'll give you the nominal score with this UCI, and I'll give you those numbers at the end of the video. Alright, so here we go. As soon as the camera goes off and I can concentrate, the UCI became very consistent. I like the numbers I got out of it, so we're going to give you a UCI number. So that means that I think that maybe there is a hardness on the outside, the surface level. There is a hardness factor that might be harder than the actual core. Still, kind of the opposite of what I was trying to say with that seller talking about a VG10 on Wish.com. I do have a VG10 knife from China, so maybe I'll test that. And I have tested it, and I get typically around a 45 Rockwell, which is pretty low. So maybe that VG10 from China, maybe that does have a higher core hardness. So I'll test that later on. This would be the opposite of that. This would be more like a firearm per se, where you might have a harder surface and the core is a bit softer. So let's go ahead and give you the final numbers. The final numbers on the UCI let's go with the analog. The analog is going to come in at 56.1. Now remember, it's the industry standard. The analog machine is typically what everyone tests knives with. So at least I'm able to give you a little bit more insight than most people have, because this machine does test, for surface level hardness. It gets blocked. If there's a surface level hardness factor to it, it'll get blocked from testing anything further. That's why when I test those firearms, I can test the actual surface, like Tenifer and whatnot. You'll get a different result. Watch the Glock video if you want to see. So on the UCI method, it's going to come in at 60.6. So this is very, very much in the middle of what the manufacturer states, and that's D2 still. So take it, take the information in. This is a kind of a new thing that I'm able to kind of show here, because this is the gold standard. Gold standard people would say that this is a failure. Now on the surface aspects, it's maybe not. So that's going to be an interesting kind of perspective there. So that's kind of what you get on this particular knife. We'll keep testing, and maybe this is like a VG10 thing. So I do have a knife from a Chinese VG10 still I can test, and the numbers I think I've seen with the UCI method, it's been around 45. So it kind of plays in what that guy was saying, that there seems to be a softer surface and a harder middle, at least with VG10 from China. So until next time, we'll see you then.